The year is 1814. The War of 1812 has been raging for over 2 years. Both sides have suffered heavy casualties, but it finally seems the war is coming to an end.
In a war that is often not recognized as a particularly important part of history, the Battle of New Orleans stands out as one of the most significant events in America's past. The leader of the ragtag group of American forces was Andrew Jackson. Known for his fiery temper and patriotic devotion to his country, Jackson had established his military prowess at an early age. Even so, he and his army were outnumbered more than 2 to 1, and chances for victory were small.
Today, we fight for our country. Today, we hold New Orleans. We will take the trench here, and the British forces are going to be marching up here. They'll probably try to flank us, and we will hold the line, and then when they come up to about here to charge,
Interestingly, unbeknownst to either side, an armistice that effectively ended the war had already been signed in Europe. The Treaty of Ghent, finalized on December 24, 1814, basically restored everything to pre-war conditions. But because information had to travel across the Atlantic by ship, a process that could take several weeks, neither Jackson nor his aggressors could possibly have known.
don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes.
Up! Fire! Charge!
In all, the British suffered a devastating defeat. Compared to the almost 2,500 British casualties, the Americans suffered just 300. It was a day to be proud to be an American. In fact, with the victory at New Orleans, a wave of nationalism spread over the country. Boisterous crowds met Jackson upon his return to Washington, and January 8th was celebrated as a national holiday for the next 50 years. America's defeat of Britain seemed to legitimize the new country's existence and establish it as a world power. Throughout Europe, previously indifferent nations came to recognize that they could no longer ignore the upstart Americans. Although the Battle of New Orleans was relatively small by contemporary standards, the magnitude of the American victory gained the young democracy political and diplomatic power. And from the smoke and ashes of war-torn New Orleans rose a shining star by the name of Andrew Jackson. Now recognized as a national hero, General Andrew "Stonewall" Jackson quickly turned to politics, using his newfound status to garner public support. In 1828, Old Hickory was elected President of the United States and served his country for 2 terms, during which he continued his tradition of patriotism and hard work. So you see, although the Battle of New Orleans was of no consequence to the outcome of the war, Its effects on the future of the United States were unmatched by any other battle in the history of America.